Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video by Aviation Master 100. Today, I'll be looking at the interwar aircraft between World War One and World War Two. So, um, after World War One and before World War Two, it was 20 years, around 20 years, sorry. Fighter or airplane development, mainly fighter development, had rapidly advanced. I mean, we went from rickety old biplanes, World War One aircraft to sleek, new, fast, maneuverable fighters, such as the P-40 Warhawk, Spitfire Hurricane, and the Me-109 and the Zero, um, which had just been crazy, the amount of time that we went from, the rickety old biplanes to all metal, fixed or retractable landing gear, um, you know, rapidly advanced, just rapidly advanced, bigger engines, higher speeds, um, which was really incredible, and it was amazing how, it all kind of led up to right before World War II, where we had those new fighters all ready to go and fight. So today, I'll be looking at some of the interwar aircraft. I'm not gonna mention all of them, unfortunately, because this video would be like an hour long, and I don't want to bore you guys to death. So I'm just gonna be looking at the main ones that were built during the 1920s and 30s. So let's start over here with the British Fairey Hendon 2. This was a bomber, fixed landing gear, really big twin tail, heavy bomber. And then this next airplane right here is an Arado AR-68. That swastika kind of gives it away that it's German, and everything like that, and so does that cross. But single seat fighter. I think it was built in I think the late 20s or late 1920s. Kind of cool looking, actually, in my opinion. The next airplane right here is a Fokker CVE. This was a reconnaissance plane, as you can see, and a pilot and a back gunner slash observer. These markings are actually Norway. Norway being located right here next to Sweden. Just in case you guys don't know where that is. But anyway, yeah, these are Royal Norwegian markings. Which is kind of a rare sight in World War II, to be honest. The next airplane is a Dewoitine D510. Dewoitine, same people built the Dewoitine D520, which was probably the most successful French-built aircraft of World War II. Fixed landing gear. It is a monowing though, an open canopy. I thought this would be kind of a neat aircraft to own. For some fun weekend flying, but that is kind of a cool airplane. Then next up on our list we have a Botez 25A2. This was a light bomber. You can see the bombardier, bombardier and the pilot, two-seater. The next airplane that we have on our list is a Hawker Fury 1. This is a single-seat fighter. Kind of actually a sleek-looking biplane. You don't really see many sleek biplanes, but this is one of them. Kind of cool looking. I always like this one. Then next up, this is a Martin B-12. This is a bomber built by Martin. I'm sure many of you noticed today is Lockheed Martin, since they merged with Lockheed. Lockheed and Martin merged to form Lockheed Martin. kind of a universal, term right there. The next airplane right here is a Handley Page Hayford 1. This is a biplane. It's kind of an interesting airplane, actually, because normally you'd see, for instance, up here, the one of the wings sits low on the fuselage and one of the wings sits high. But in this case, it's kind of the opposite. The monowing sits there, and then the lower wing sits on the bottom. Kind of an interesting airplane. It is a bomber, a British bomber. Next up, this is a PZL P11C. This is a single-seat fighter built in Poland. Um, Kind of an odd-looking airplane because it has those gull wings, those distinct gull wings, and fixed landing gear with that radial engine in the nose. The next up, we have a Heinkel HE-70. It kind of looks similar to the Ferry Battle a little bit. It kind of looks like a fighter, in my opinion. Kind of a neat looking airplane. Next up, I really like this one. This one is kind of cool. This is a Caproni CA-133. These markings are Austrian. It's Austrian Air Force. As you can see, it is a tri-motor airplane. Has one engine on each wing and then one in the nose. Then this airplane is a Curtiss B-2FC. This is a fighter. It was also used for dive bombing. But built by Curtiss, very famous aircraft company. Kind of a neat looking aircraft. Actually, sorry about that. And then next airplane, I'm gonna try and pronounce this Breguet. I don't know. I don't speak French. This is our Breguet 7. This is a reconnaissance light bomber. These markings are Turkey. That's Turkey, or it's actually Turkey. Kind of interesting. And then is it on the Russian side? We have a I-15 and fixed landing gear biplane. You can see there. Then we also have another Italian airplane built by Fiat. This is a CR-32. This was a fighter. Kind of another sleek looking aircraft. Kind of another sleek biplane. You don't really see many of those around. And this airplane is a Bristol Bulldog, and this was a British fighter during the 1930s, or actually not late 1920s. Actually built in late 1920s. As you can see, it has a radial engine, fixed landing gear. Kind of has some real neat markings on it with that checkerboard. Which I always kind of like that checkerboard design on airplanes. I always think that's kind of cool. And then next up we have a this is built by Boeing, a Boeing P-26 pea shooter. As you can see, it is a monowing, open cockpit, fixed gear, definitely 1930s. Especially that paint job, man. That is like that paint job. Very, very creative, and me personally, I wouldn't want to take one of those into combat, because you'd just be, kind of take one of those airplane with those paint jobs into combat, because you'd probably the first one to be seen by an enemy airplane. But really neat, almost looks like an aerobatic airplane of some sort, but really cool. And then next up, we have a Gloster Gladiator. They had a lot of these in Italy. It is a fixed or closed cockpit biplane, which you actually don't really see many of. You don't really see a lot of closed cockpit biplanes, which just kind of make this one sort of unique. And then this airplane, you're probably wondering, this was a World War I aircraft, but the French kind of heavily modified it. This is a very advanced World War I airframe. So there you have it. I didn't mention all of them because this video would be like, an hour long, and I don't want to bore you guys to death, because, you probably have better things to do. But, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Tell all your friends, fellow history buffs, and I'll see you in the next video.